Welcome back to Starkiller Base. Today we have an Ultimate Guard product review. Ultimate Guard was kind enough to send us some deck boxes and storage solutions for us to check out, so I figure I'll do that for you guys and see what you think. We have the Ultimate Guard Flip and Tray 100 Plus. It's also Xenoskin and it has magnetic closures. Right here it has a really cool tray for holding tokens. It's removable if you really wanted to put some stuff in there. I guess you could, but it's perfect size for holding Destiny tokens. It's got that. And then we have our magnetic clasp on the side here, which opens up. And normally it comes with a drawer like this that goes in here, and you put your cards in it, and you take the cards out, and yay. But of course, as a Destiny player, it doesn't quite work because the extra space this is taking up is preventing you from storing more stuff in here. So I have a deck here. I like to put one of these plastic card cases in between my deck and my dice so that the dice don't, wreck the cards as they're sloshing around there. This excuse me, this one is deep enough to hold three rows deep, and it holds 8 per row, so it's 24 dice, which is pretty good. My Hero Vehicles deck here obviously doesn't take up that whole space, but you certainly could put more dice in there. And it's actually really quite nice. I brought this to PAX and I used it for the Galactic Qualifier, and it was really cool to have this nice little compact case that held everything I needed for Destiny in my backpack. I had lots of room for everything else in my backpack there, and just had, when I got down to business, that's what I got. So I really enjoyed using that one, and I definitely recommend it. Sorry, and that one is about $20. This next one here is the Twin Flip and Tray 200 Plus, so it is the big brother of the 100 Plus Flip and Tray here. It's intended for holding 2 decks. It's made out of Xenoskin, just like the other ones here, and it's got these magnetic clasps. We've got our token drawer here, which is a bit bigger than the Flip and Tray, which is nice. And when you open it up here, it has one of these drawers again, and some ample space in here, but I'll show you what I've got on the other side here. I usually use this for holding 2 decks, one on each side, and then tokens in the middle. So again, I take the drawer out. I have my plastic thing protecting my deck, and then in here there's plenty of room for dice. So that holds 8 per row, and it'll be 3 rows high, so another 24. Some people leave the drawers in and put all their their 2 decks in one side and all the dice in another side, and I suppose you could divide the dice by putting this in between or something, but I like to keep my decks and my dice together so that you don't have to worry about digging and trying to figure out where your Sabine die is when you've got it all piled in with a whole bunch of other dice, particularly if you're running 2 decks that are the same color. So I have these. I have 2 of these for myself. I use them every week when I go out to my LGS because it's great to have multiple decks with me. I have one for my heroes, one for my villains, and I have a buddy that borrows one of them to use to play his, because he doesn't actually have Destiny, and you just, here you go play, and he has a good time with it, so it's pretty handy. You don't really need this for a tournament simply because you don't normally bring 2 decks to a tournament, so the Flip and Tray is more or less a better choice if that's your goal. And I do strongly recommend either of them. I think they're both fantastic. The magnets are really strong, the material is fantastic, and they are definitely premium deck cases, so they're a bit more expensive than just getting a regular plastic case or something like that, but I think they're worth the investment. So the Twin Flip and Tray rings in around $32. And then lastly, we have the big bad boy here. This one here is called the Archive. It's a really interesting case. It's basically a case that's meant for holding multiple deck boxes. It's more designed for cards, once again. It is Xenoskin. It has these magnetic clasps on the end for locking it closed. But what they have in here, what I have right now, these are called boulders, and they are hard plastic cases that are meant for holding cards for the most part. This one here is the 80, which is the smaller size. And then I also have a 100 here, which has a deck in it. So this one here holds, this is my Palpatine deck. It only has 12 dice, so it's nice and compact. If you get any more dice than that, of course, you're going to see that the dice will come over the edge and they may fall off or whatnot. With this one here, you only get 1 row of dice, so it's going to hold 12 dice at most, which is not ideal. Now, the Archive will hold 4 of these big Boulder 100s and 5 of the Boulder 80s. So I've seen some people that have 4 Boulder 100s in them, and they just put 2 decks worth of cards in one of them, and then all their dice in another, and so on and so forth. Like I said, it's not ideal for storing Destiny, but it is actually quite fantastic for storing card games. For example, I use this for my LCGs. So I have 5 boulders here, and I just put my 4 decks in here, and then I have my tokens in one of them. You just close it up, goes in the backpack, and off you go. So as far as Destiny goes, I definitely recommend the Flip and Tray 100 and the Twin Flip and Tray 200 as the best solutions for storing decks and dice. As far as actual dice storage, holding 200 dice, I don't know if Ultimate Guard has any products for that, but it's definitely worth a look because their products are good stuff. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time on Starkiller Base.